Hello friends, welcome to another video of Zeta Axis, and today we are going to see agricultural crops of South American continent. In this video, we will discuss the important crops of South American continent. So let's first see the agricultural or croplands of South American continent. And in this green color, we can see the croplands across the globe. The croplands indicate the total amount of area used for cultivation of crops. And here in South America, we can see that not a very large portion of South American continent is used for crop cultivation, as we can see in Europe, India, or even United States of America. Here we see only a very small portion of land is used for crop cultivation. If we see the global data, then we can see that Brazil is at 5th position in the total amount of croplands available, and Argentina is at 5th location. So now let's see agricultural croplands in South America. Here we can see that most of the cropland is below this Tropic of Capricorn. Here, this is La Plata region. Here we see that Parana River, Uruguay River and Paraguay River, they all meet, and here they form a delta in Argentina, and here they go into Atlantic Ocean. So here this delta is formed, and it forms a very fertile region of South American continent, and therefore you will see that a very fertile ecosystem exists over here, and most of the crops of Argentina are grown in this region. In Brazil, we see that on the western side, most of croplands are located, and therefore most of the cultivation occurs in these lands. If we see the physiological characteristics of South America, then we can see that on the western side, we have a very long Andes mountains, and these are not very conducive for agriculture. Then we have Atacama Desert. In the south, we have Patagonia Desert. Both of these conditions do not support much farming activity. Then we have Amazon Basin over here, where there are tropical forests. Here only subsistence farming occurs. No major croplands exist even in Amazon Basin. Here we see Guiana Highlands and Llanos. These are grasslands. This is grassland. So here agricultural activity occurs. Some agricultural activity occurs in Guiana Highlands. And then we have Gran Chano and the Pampa grasslands, as well as Parana Basin. So in these three regions, as well as in these Llanos, as well as in this Campos is also grassland. So these regions, they form the region where agricultural activity occurs in South American continent. And therefore, if you will see, then these green regions, which are bright green regions, they are located across Campos, Parana Basin, the Pampa grasslands, the Gran Chaco, and some in the Llanos region. So if we see the major crops of Brazil and Argentina, we can see that soybean is the most important crop of Brazil, as well as corn. Coffee is another important crop of Brazil. We have not included it here. Then we have crops of Argentina, and we can see that corn is the most important crop of Argentina, followed by soybean and wheat. Now let's start with wheat production, and we can see that wheat requires slightly cooler atmosphere. Therefore, it is a temperate as well as subtropical crop. In this map, we can see that the production of wheat is mainly confined to the regions above the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. In fact, here in South America, we can see that most of wheat production is in south of Tropic of Capricorn. If we see the global standing of South American countries, we can see that Argentina is the largest producer, and it is at 10th position in world, and then Brazil is at 16th position. Let's see wheat production in South America. Here we can see that the states of Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay are the producers of wheat in South America, and among these we will see Brazil is a major producer. It is the second highest producer of wheat in South America, and most of the wheat is cultivated in the southern region along the eastern coast. These are the states: Sao Paulo, Paraná and Rio Grande do Sul. So these are the three major states. In fact, these two are the most important states which produce wheat in Brazil. Similarly, if you see Argentina, then as discussed, this is La Plata region. This is the delta region formed by Paraguay, Uruguay and Parana River. And we see most of wheat cultivation is confined in this region. In fact, this is the highest wheat producing region in South America. Here are the states. Buenos Aires is one of the most important states, and then there are other states, Santa Fe and this state, they produce wheat in Argentina. Now let's see rice production. Rice is a tropical or subtropical plant. Here we can see that in the southern hemisphere, because of narrowness of the lands, we have enough warmth for rice cultivation, and therefore we can see that here even in the temperate region rice is cultivated in the southern hemisphere. However, in the Asia region or in the north hemisphere, you will see that rice is not cultivated higher up in the latitudes. If you see the global standing, then Brazil is the 11th highest producer of rice in the world and Peru is on 20th location. So let's see rice production in South America. Now let's see production of rice in South America. Here we can see that the rice is produced in South America right from Venezuela, that is in the equatorial or tropical region, to Chile and Argentina in the temperate region. Here is our Tropic of Capricorn, here is our equator. So we can see that right from the tropical region till this temperate zone, rice is produced in South American continent. And the major concentration lies in these states. We see Brazil and Argentina are the two important producers. Other than that, Paraguay, Uruguay, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, all these countries also produce rice. So let's see rice production in Brazil. So here we can see that most of it is produced on the eastern coast. Here we have Brazilian highlands. So in these regions, we see production of rice. We have Campos over here, and then we have the Parana Basin over here. These are the states which produce rice in higher quantity in Brazil. Now let's see rice production in Argentina. We can again see that production of rice is confined to this La Plata region. This is the delta region of Parana, Uruguay and Paraguay river. And the states which produce rice in abundance in Argentina are these states. Now let's see cotton production. Cotton is again an equatorial, or it requires a warm climate. It requires higher rainfall. So here we can see that cotton production is confined to the tropical region mostly. Both in South American hemisphere, we again see that the production is confined to the tropical and a little bit south of the Tropic of Capricorn. If you see the global standing, then Brazil is the third largest producer of cotton across the world and Argentina is at 9th position. Let's see cotton production in South America. Here we can see that it is produced right from the Venezuela and Colombia till our Argentina. The majority of the states which produce are Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador and Peru. The important countries which produce cotton in South America are Brazil and Argentina. So let's see cotton production in Brazil. We can again see that most of the cotton production is confined to the eastern side. And we again know that here we have Campos and here we have Parana Basin. And here we have Mato Grosso. So all in this region we will see production of cotton. These are the Mato Grosso state, and then we have another state over here. Both of these states, they produce cotton in abundance in Brazil. Now let's see cotton production in Argentina. We can see that again production of cotton is confined in the northern part. Here we have Paraguay river, here we have Parana river, and this is the delta region formed by both of these rivers. These are the states which produce cotton in abundance over here. Now let's see maize or corn producing regions. The maize is also requires warmer temperature, but it can also survive in little bit cooler atmosphere. It requires lesser rainfall compared to other crops, and therefore we can see that it extends in higher latitudes in both in northern and southern hemisphere. Even we have production of maize or corn in the Argentinian region. If you see the global standing of countries, then we can see that Brazil is at 3rd position in production of corn, while Argentina is at 4th. Now let's see maize production in South America. So here we can see that the production of maize is again confined to the eastern coast, mainly the southern states of Brazil and northern states of Argentina, as well as on the western coast we see that some areas produce maize. Here are the countries which produce maize in South American continent. Now let's see the maize producing region of Brazil. Here we can again see most of the eastern coastal states of Brazil, they produce maize. And these are the important states which produce maize in Brazil. Now let's see maize producing states of Argentina. These states are again confined to this La Plata region or the delta found by Paraguay, Parana and Uruguay rivers. The important states are Buenos Aires, Cordoba and Santa Fe. So all these states in Argentina, they produce maize. Now let's see soybean production. Again, soybean also requires little warmer atmosphere. We can see that its production spreads right from the temperate region till the tropical region. Soybean can grow in temperate climate also, even though it prefers warmer climate, but it can be grown in the temperate regions also. And we can see the global extension in north hemisphere. It extends in higher latitudes as well as in southern hemisphere. We can see that it extends in higher latitudes. The global standing of South American countries, we can see in soybean production, Brazil is the world's leading producer, followed by Argentina at third, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Uruguay. So we can see that there is a lot of soya bean production in South America. So let's see soya bean producing regions in South America. And these are the regions, and we have already seen that South American continent produces lots of soya bean. And therefore we can see that right from Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, all of them contribute to soybean production. So let's see soybean production region in Brazil. We have already seen that most of the agriculture in Brazil occurs across the eastern side because of here we have San Francisco River which forms the Campos grasslands. In the southern side we have Parana Basin. So both of these regions, they are very suitable for agriculture. These are the major states which produce the soybean in Brazil. Similarly, we will see the states producing soybean in Argentina. We have already seen that here there is Patagonia desert and here we have Andes. Both of these are not suitable for agriculture. Therefore, only the northern states on the eastern coast or in Argentina are suitable for agriculture. And therefore, you are seeing that soybean is also produced in this region where we have delta formed by the three important rivers. And these are the states which produce soybean in this region. Now let's see barley production. Barley is a crop of temperate region which can be grown in cooler atmosphere with lesser requirement of water. We can see that barley cultivation zone extends till Norway, Sweden. So it can be grown in higher latitudes. Here also in South America we can see that it is grown in the southern states of Argentina. If we see the global standing, then Argentina is at 10th position among the global producers. So if we see the barley production in South America, we can clearly see that its production region extends right from the equator, north of equator, to the temperate region, to the higher latitudes. So it is produced all across these regions, right from tropical temperate regions. The major countries which produce barley are Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, and Chile, and Uruguay. Let's see barley producing regions in Brazil. And again, these regions are confined to the eastern coast and in the southern states. These are the states which produce barley in Brazil. Now let's see the states of Argentina which produce barley. Again, barley production is confined to this region, the La Plata region, and Buenos Aires is the majority producer of barley. In fact, 93% of barley is produced by Buenos Aires alone in Argentina. Now let's see sugarcane production in South America. Sugarcane is also a tropical crop requiring large amount of water. Here, these green dots, they indicate the regions producing sugarcane across the world. And if we see the global standing, then we can clearly see Brazil is the world's leading producer of sugarcane, followed by India. We have Colombia, Argentina, Peru, and Ecuador in South America producing sugarcane. If we see the major regions producing sugarcane, then we can see Brazil, Colombia, and Argentina in South American continent. We have regions in Brazil over here and in the Parana Basin, as well as here in Argentina and in Colombia. If you see the map, we can clearly see that Brazil, these regions and these regions, they produce significant amount of sugarcane. Similarly, Colombia over here produces significant amount of sugarcane. If you see the states in Brazil, then most of the major producers of sugarcane are concentrated in this region, and these are the name of those states. Similarly, if you see the states producing sugarcane in Argentina, then we have this one little state called Tucumán or something like that. It produces most of the sugarcane in Argentina. Now let's see coffee production across South America. We've already seen that coffee production is a tropical crop. It grows in the tropical region between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, which we can clearly see over here. This is Tropic of Cancer and this is Tropic of Capricorn. and most of the production of coffee is confined in this region across the world. If we see the global standings, then Brazil is the leading producer of coffee across the world, followed by Colombia, Peru, and Guyana. Let's see coffee production in South America. So we can see that coffee production is confined above this Tropic of Capricorn. Argentina, Chile does not produce any coffee. We have these regions which produce significant coffee. We have already seen their standings in the chart below, before this slide. So Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, they produce coffee and they are on the western coast of South America. Here Brazil, it has a very significant portion where coffee is produced. So let's see coffee producing region in Brazil. Now coffee is produced in Brazil across all the states. Almost all the states of Brazil produce coffee, but the highest concentration is on the eastern states. These are the states of Brazil which produce most of the coffee. In fact, there are ports here dedicated specifically for coffee. Tea is also produced in South America in a lesser quantity, and if we see the distribution, we can see that tea is produced in Brazil and Argentina mainly, but Brazil produces very less amount of tea. Most of the tea is produced in Argentina and South America. So if we see tea production in South America, we can see these are the regions. We have Colombia, it produces very small proportion. We have Paraguay and Uruguay. All these three countries produce very small proportion of tea. The southern states of Brazil, they produce some amount of coffee as well. These are the states, and then we have this dark brown colored region of Argentina, which produces higher proportion of tea in South America. These are the states of Argentina in South America which produce tea. So with this, we will conclude our video on crops of South America. I hope you have liked this video, and if you liked it, then do subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. If you have any doubt, then let us know in the comments and we will help clear it. If you have liked what we are doing, then you can support us using the Paytm ID. Thanks for watching the video.